All right. So this is James Speed. Just wanted to just make a little quick little live video about the video that's going viral right now about traditional men versus 50-50 men. So I just wanted to get this off my chest right quick. Just speak on it. It's like I'm kind of pissed, but I'm happy at the same time. Like, Derrick Jackson needed a replacement. So y'all probably have seen this video by now. I just saw it like last night on I think it was Instagram, Twitter, I think it was Instagram. And I'm seeing like it's, going viral. It's making its runs throughout social media apps, platforms, YouTube, Facebook. So I don't remember the guy's name. I think his name is Yodo, like Yaddaa, something like that. But somebody might have been the person who uploaded it or whoever. But anyway, whoever the guy's name is, he's sitting there, supposed to be traditional. He seemed to be very, live in an affluent area. A guy who, I guess is bourgeoisie, but he claimed that he come from the same origin as the 50-50 man, and he just needs to, work harder. So basically the argument that we done went through, those familiar with the manosphere, MGTOW and everything, a lot of guys are opting out society, getting their passports to go places where they can get traditional women. And it's not just guys, with that doesn't really have a lot of money. It's guys with money who also do that, and for various reasons. Some go to be with escorts overseas, and some go to actually seek out real relationships with women from overseas, right? So I have a cousin of mine who was about to get married to a woman in Colombia, right? I've known black men in the military who was about to get married to women in the Philippines. My dad is an example. He was in the military. I mean, he was in the Navy, and he told me he was about to marry a Filipino woman. So he was stationed out there for a while, and he was, about to, marry her. So because of the tradition, and like I say, passport bros been passport bros before it's even called passport bros. And you have, like I said, guys who use an AR-15 for certain reasons. You have guys who've never used their AR-15; they just own one, on a body. So you have men who go to these countries to, like I say, for that. And you got guys who are actually looking for a good, stable woman who has those traditional values, while he's bringing his traditional values as well. Who is not dealing with women who want you to be traditional, but yet they're modern, right? And everybody's relationship is different. But anyway, y'all seen the guy who's just basically telling this guy that he's less of a man because he's not working harder to pay all the bills for his woman, that his woman doesn't like it, complaining. You can say she respects you, but she doesn't really, just basically down on him. And I saw this video, this clip alongside the Fresh and Fit podcast, if y'all familiar with those guys, and the guy Myron from Fresh and Fit, who used to be an FBI agent, whatever, and he makes some good points. Like I rock with a lot of stuff he says, but one thing I didn't like in this dude is that they're basically saying that their women don't respect them, or that their women don't look at them as real men, or that they're less than men because they don't make as much money as their woman, or in this case, with the 50-50 guy, because he's able to go, 50-50 to make that same amount of money. And it's this thing of trying to keep men on the plantation, especially so-called black men. If you notice, these two videos are other, melanated or black men are calling out other melanated black men on not having finance, even though men of other races or cultures, especially so-called white men, they can get black women to marry, date them, and they don't have nothing. You have white men who complain about black women just wanting to date them, basically so off the fact that they feel like they have a lot of money and they don't. So they have to sometimes push black women away from them because, like, I'm just a regular white guy in an apartment. Like, I don't have, money. So it's just this requirement that, black men have to work harder and do this and all that. And you're not this if you don't have that. And that's not, being a man. You have a lot of rich guys who get cheated on every day from their women, by their women, with guys who can't even get them in a hotel room, who can't even afford a hotel room to have sex. They're having sex in your car. Your woman is talking down, and this is not every rich guy, but you have a good amount of rich guys. Where this happens to. You're paying for everything, but the guy that she's having sex with, the guy that she really respects or likes, isn't giving her nothing but what's in his pants. That's it. And she's talking down to you, the guy who pays for everything. I've seen this in my personal life. I've known guys this happened to in my personal life. We done seen it from NBA players to just people on and on. Guys exposing, their girlfriend or their fiance or their wife, having affairs. And these guys say, I pay for everything. You don't have to do nothing. And this is how you treat me. And these guys, well, not Myron, but this guy, whatever his name is, who is on the couch talking down to the 50-50 guy, I guess we're still saying in his Derek Jackson character, which Derek Jackson is a character anyway, I guess you would tell him even then whether it's your fault. But you're with that kind of woman, because that's what he said in one of the clips too, that, hey, it's your fault. You picked that woman. So if she always complains or she has issues and things like that, come on in with issues and everything. Well, it's your fault. And it's just like, dude, it's because of you, that's your fault, whatever. And we see this. So I'm like, when I watch more clips, I say, okay, that's what this guy's on. He's on this Derek Jackson tip. Like, guys like that who talk down on other men and saying, if you don't have as much money or finances or resources as I have, that you're less than, instead of saying, hey, you can work for me, brother. Saying, you need to work 2 jobs. Well, how about I have a job for you? How about I'm teaching you how to invest? Like, there's a place right now where you can invest that in. So instead of giving, advice on how to get rich, and actually like, hey, brother, after we have this conversation, I'm going to actually take you in, and not no Ponzi scheme. I'm going to actually take you and, we're going to, you're going to invest in this with me. Like, this is what I have invested in. This is what got me where I could just have residual income and I can sit and enjoy I'm going to, but it's like, you don't want to help this dude who gets up every day and work and do jobs that I and most other guys don't want to do. Trash man is an example. Like, I never look down on a trash man. I could have millions and billions of dollars. I would never do that, because if it wasn't for the trash man, my stuff would stink. My neighbor's stuff would stink. Like, how many people want to take out their trash? Not put it in the trash. Actually, like, dispose of it. Not too many people want to do that, bruh. Especially if you live in the city, it's only so much you could do. So, why, like the men who probably don't get paid as much, but do the jobs that actually really matters, that actually makes society really stable, really goes around. So it's just crazy to me. But I just know what it is. It's just a thing of keeping black men on the plantation. Anytime, black men, hey, what's up? Okay, see Marcus in here. Anytime, black men see that relationships are not, what it should be, like, you're putting in everything. Hey, what's up, brother Marcus? Hey, it's been doing pretty decent. So it's Michaela's birthday today. So, doing that. But yeah, it's been pretty decent. So finally getting above water. But so for those who are able to be traditional, and that's another thing too I want to get into as well. I done covered the whole not looking down on men and these dudes with some Derek Jackson type stuff. And they're attacking MGTOW, they're attacking Passport Bros, trying to give it a black eye. But also with that, these dudes claim to be traditional, or the people who upload it consider them to be traditional. I guess it's because they have enough money where they can just pay for everything. But if you're really traditional, man, your wife shouldn't be voting. Because if we really want to get traditional, no woman should be voting. No woman should be wearing pants. Do they mean traditional far as biblically? Because if you're talking about biblically, it's a lot of stuff that women shouldn't do in society that doesn't make really a lot of people relationships traditional. If we're going to be really traditional, there's a lot of stuff that men and women in this society shouldn't do. But even if you want to take it biblically, Proverbs 31, which a lot of these people don't want to quote from goes into also how the woman would actually work. It wouldn't just be the man. The woman also she sell a purple, so she also had a field and she buys it. So she also brought finance in the house, and this is biblically speaking in the Israelite tradition culture where women really didn't, really have jobs like that. But even then, it was expected of her to bring finance and food and everything into the household. So they never quote Proverbs 31 because when this guy was getting at the 50-50, the rich brother was getting at the 50-50 brother, he was saying, oh, okay, in between them talking, he's like, okay, yeah, to the Most High. And I said, well, I guess this brother, he may be he may be subscribed or affiliated to the biblical or either Quran, the Bible, the Quran. So when I think he said all praises or whatever. So I'm just like, yeah, but they don't want to quote Proverbs 31. So it wasn't just the man or the woman. And everybody knows about inflation. Inflation is through the roof. So most households can't just do it by themselves. It takes two incomes to make it, But like I said, all this, attacking, black men primarily. It's an attack on men, but black men for not having or not being able, because we see what happened with the Cheesecake Factory, all that, attacking men for not being able to, I guess, adhere or scratch every itch these women have. That's this delusion that these women have that you have to have this, you have to have that, it has to be this kind of restaurant, it has to be this kind of car, it has to be this, man. And and everybody know, if a woman really likes you, she will help you. She will help pay for things. She will do that. If she really likes you, she really into you. Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of rich guys, they're getting cheated on by men who don't have as much money as they have. Only because this guy's able to make their woman laugh. Because they're able to have a good free time with this guy. He's less judgmental. While women gave reasons why they cheated on their rich, wealthy husband. And guys never respected it. So, she's never satisfied. It doesn't matter, all these things that the guy was saying. I'm like, and shout out to, was it Shirley King? If I say his name, he's very popular, has a big, popular comedian, YouTube channel. And even he said things that I agreed, and given his analysis or his review on, this topic. Like, everybody's relationship is different. And what works for this dude and his relationship is different than the next man. And I can't, I've learned from me being in a marriage for 5 years that I can't sit here and tell some guy who's not related to me, who is not my son, not my nephew, what he should do in his household, how his woman is unsatisfied, because that's going to cause, and he's telling me that his woman's satisfied, that's going to cause more issues than it's going to cause good. Or if I had your woman in front of me, she would be crying, basically in that's what they would call dirty Mac. For those familiar about the player game or the pimp game, they would call that dirty Macking. Basically downplaying another player, another man in front of his woman, like Myra did Impression Fit podcast. But that, he was wrong. And I'm glad somebody else called him out for that too in the comment section. You had people who were patting him on the back. But I was like, nah, man, that's foul. You don't call this dude a bum in front of his girl when you already know they have relationships. And y'all people too need to stop going to these podcasts. I don't care, men or women, about your relationships dynamic. That's between y'all and God and your family. But really, it's between y'all and God. Because even family, your in-laws, could be one of the biggest downfalls in your relationship dynamic. All right? So y'all take that up to God, and y'all pray about it, and y'all discuss it and talk it out. And if y'all can't do it, then biblically, because I did with the Bible, go about it, the ways that you have to go about it biblically, depending on your dynamic and what the Bible says. But if you want to be worldly with it, I guess just go your separate ways. But I mean, yeah, it's everybody's just like when the two people become flesh, just like every person, right? Each one individual person are different. We're different, man. I might not like tomatoes. Some people might like tomatoes, or they might like to call it tomatoes. We call it tomatoes, whatever. Even though there's certain principles that would never go out of style when it comes to being a man. And being a man is it's not money. Man made the money. Money never made the man. So it's about having integrity, loyalty, being a man of your word. That's what made a man. Money comes and goes, just like women come and go. But your word, your integrity, your loyalty, that would stand the test of time. That would carry you further, way further in life than having money or having a bunch of women or take a will, man. Okay, so it doesn't. Like it's 2023, inflation through the roof. We're having this conversation, but we're having this conversation because men are discovering that they have options, whether these be men of stature or have a lot of money, or be men who are somewhat in the middle class and say, hey, I can go to Thailand, I can go to the Philippines, Colombia, Brazil, and I can take women out on dates for less than $100, and I'm good. You know what I mean? Me making 20,000, 30, 40,000 over there, I'm the man, or I'm good, or they're not really moved by that, when it comes to dating. That they look for other things in men when it comes to being married. And the women are not delusional or not as. And you live in a society, when you go overseas, where the laws are more in favor of the man. Okay, when it comes to children, who gets the children, who gets what, if it's divorce or such and such a marriage. And then too, in those cultures, people take marriage way seriously in relationships and seriously than they do here. Like I heard, it was a guy, I think it was a white guy. He was in Colombia, I believe, and he was talking about how the pros and cons of dating in Colombia. But one of the biggest pros, he mentioned that if him and his girlfriend was having an issue, her girlfriends, her friend, her female friends would not tell her to, oh, you need to leave him, you leave him. They would say, well, what can you do to make things better? They would basically talk to her, convince her to stay with him. And he doesn't have to be a rich guy. He could just be a good man. And they would try to keep them together. You know how many women regret leaving their husband or leaving their boyfriend for years, a good boy, because their girlfriends had told them they should just left because he no longer scratches that itch like he used to. Oh, you need to leave him. Or one day he forgot the anniversary, or one day he forgot to give you that, whatever. Or he don't, whatever. Or he doesn't have the car like he used to have, but she didn't want to wait for him to get a new car. So just leave him, leave him, leave him. And then sometimes the girl is telling you to leave him, she with him. Or she was trying to get with him. Or she doesn't want to see you happy. Or she wanted you to come to her house and have a good time and eat on her. But anyway, they come and eat at her house all the time. she didn't want you to cook for him because she wanted you to eat at her house, okay? And she had some stuff for you to eat. So it could be all kinds of scenarios. But listen to your misery loves company friends. Also that women regret. So you come from a culture where, relationships and man is not respected, we're just now recently Florida, I think maybe Texas or Tennessee changed the whole no-fault divorce where women just cannot, couples and especially women just couldn't, divorce their man for any reason. Like you have to have a great, good reason to divorce, your husband. I think Georgia, I just remember recently Georgia, have it where the wife and the husband have to be separated, I think, for a year before divorce can be like final. So it ain't just, I'm getting divorced, I got a lawyer, okay, we get divorced. It's like, no, you have to go through steps and in order to do that. And it'd be hard to call one a Christian nation if you allow people, especially women, just to divorce for whatever. Even a man couldn't divorce his wife unless it was saving for the cause of fornication or adultery. Something sexually immoral. It just couldn't be, I don't like the fact she don't cook like she used to, so I'm just divorce her. Like, nah, it couldn't be like that. Now, with concubine, that's different. But a wife, your actual legal married wife, you just could not, do that. Even as a man, it had to be for, fornication or adultery that you really couldn't prove as witness wise. But I'll get into that. I went into about Numbers chapter 5 that you had somewhat that kind of evidence of the curse come upon her that she had a child out of wedlock. But anyway, things like that you could, and divorce. But yeah, man, but it's just like, I was going to make this quick, but kind of what I want to say with this live is that, yeah, man, dudes, hey, don't work harder, work smarter. Invest in things, invest in stocks. Don't be quick to get married in America. Get your passports, okay? Work hard on getting your passports, and if that does advice, man, be into yourself, man, because uh, yeah, dating in America is not the juice. The juice is not worth it's not worth the squeeze, man. Okay, today. A lot of women couldn't tell you who defend the modern women. Other modern women cannot tell you that if they know women, they probably maybe one woman they know that's a virgin, and that's for women. So a lot of these women are not virgins. A lot of these women out here with their OnlyFans. Hell, you had an ex NBA player just recently that just went viral. Whose wife, and they older, they probably in their 50s or something like that. His wife, who had a past for, he married her, and she mentioned that threw that in his face when he's like, hey, why you got an OnlyFans? Like, woo, 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 because, the checks are not coming in. They still living pretty good. But because it's not as good as it was before, she got an OnlyFans. She's putting him on camera. He getting mad that she's putting him on camera. Like, why are you putting me on camera with this? Like, why? Like, I don't want, like, yeah, like, is you my wife? Like, I don't want you, that's not for people to see. And she just basically just embarrassing him, talking down to him. Why is he worried and all this kind of stuff like that? It's her choice and this, that, and the others to bring more income in, all that kind of stuff, right? So forget how he feel as a man. How that's going to, make him look, that something that's supposed to be sacred and precious is out there for everybody to see. And that this same woman, she probably wouldn't put her bank account information for the world to see, but she will put something precious to this man and their marriage out for the world to see, man. And dudes got to be careful when it comes to courting and dealing with these women. A lot of y'all don't really court them anyway. Y'all just spend money. Say, I got, especially our NBA players. Y'all be some of the biggest simps, boy, out there. But anyway, I said I wasn't going to try to judge people's name call. But anyway, a lot of y'all be, y'all just, yeah, come on, man. Y'all be getting these Insta thoughts of these old dudes. Like, and y'all have money. I guess why I'm kind of a little judgmental, or a lot judgmental, because y'all have money where y'all can go overseas, man, where y'all can find women who are virgins, women who, don't really have, past like that. And y'all can bring them over here in America, which I'm not pro bringing them over here to America because they become Americanized. But, you could just maybe live over there or have dual citizenship, dual citizenship, live over there and, be married to her over there, man. And, you're protected legally, culturally and financially from the woes of the modern woman here in America and these modern laws that subject men to basically being a damn simp, cuck, whatever you want to call it. Here you got to put up with it. But over, I just see that this is the reason why this is happening, because men now have options and men are expressing their options, and you got ones who don't like it. So they're sick in their attack dogs, ones who call themselves manosphere, MGTOW, and those who don't, who are not. Who are more like the Derek Jackson's character, are saying, are attacking men that don't make as much money. That you should just work harder to please these women, and you're a weak man because you're not working 2 jobs, and you're doing this, you're doing that. And like I said, man, you got guys, like Shirley King said, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they both work, they both have money. There's people out here who have money, who are rich, and they still work. They both contribute to things. It's not just like I mentioned, Proverbs chapter 31, the virtuous woman, the woman still provided for the household. Okay, still made money. Okay, still had a business, still made money, and still brought that money into the household. Okay, still had she could still have a field and buy it and get the land, and they can eat off of it. I mean, yeah. So when it comes to clothing, when it comes to finances, when it comes to even food, women contributed in society. And if you look at like certain other cultures, traditional in like Africa, there's certain tribes where the women do a lot of like hard labor, man. Women be putting like buckets of water on their head. In Ethiopia, the women had that issue with women in Ethiopia because a lot of women didn't really grow tall because of the early age, especially live in the like countryside. And this is still going like to like the early 2000s, late 90s. A lot of the women would carry sticks, bundles of sticks and everything on their back, and that was stunt their growth. But that was a woman's role in that society, okay? To go out, get all those sticks and bring it to the village, bring it to the village and the household and everything. So, I mean, man, different cultures that, men would do different things, men and women dynamic. We come from also a culture where this guy who was on the couch talking all this stuff, we come from a culture, and Myron from Fresh and Fit should know better because I think he's like Sudanese, right? Somalian Sudanese. But, based off of American culture, there's things that, like wearing shorts, for example. A lot of us guys, we would call ourselves masculine, macho. We take care of everything because our wives don't pay bills, with the woo, whatever, we protect. But we wear shorts, right? When it's hot, we wear shorts. In certain Middle Eastern countries or Arab countries, it's offensive or it's seen as a gay thing to wear shorts. But we would be like, how was that gay, right? I was, wearing shorts gay, right? We didn't get that. So we're basing manhood based off of our perspective and culture. We have to remember that. And and yeah, and you have to be careful. He said that too because you come from guys from a different culture. A dude who live in a different culture where you say, "Hey man, you a punk, you a weak man. You let your woman carry those sticks and that water on her head and walk miles to the village and everything. Man, you shouldn't be letting your woman carry all that, man. Boy, they probably knock your goddamn head. Like Shirley King said, they would probably knock your head off if you told these men who probably have lived in worse conditions, them and their women have lived in worse conditions, but based off of your Americanized viewpoint, narrow viewpoint of what it is to be a man, which that where he's coming from is not even traditional and not even, manly, right? That dudes from other cultures might knock your head off. Dudes in this culture, in America, will knock your head off for saying the stuff they're saying. But will probably knock your head off because, they come from cultures where women carry heavy objects on their backs, on their head to bring to the village. Like that is seen, like, even biblically speaking, women would carry big jars of water. That's why, like I said, that's an odd thing for a man to be carrying around the pitcher of water. For those who know about the Last Supper and Luke and all that, the man who carried a pitcher of water, that was an odd thing to see a man. Today, we carry around jugs and pitchers of water, buckets of water, like it ain't nothing. Like, I'm strong in the mug. I got water. But back in the day, traditional, that was only for women to do. Hell, even the movie Last Samurai. If those who watched Last Samurai, y'all remember the scene with Tom Cruise character, he was living amongst the samurai in Japan, all that for couple of years, and he was kind of courting the Japanese woman who husband he had killed, in the war, right? So anyway, they started getting all cozy around each other. So he saw her, cause like I said, he come from America. He saw her coming in, with woods and sticks, right, for the fire. And she was basically about to knock him out. Like, oh no, like only, men only women do this in our culture. Women don't, this is not a thing for men to do. Japanese culture, this is forbidden. This is wrong. And he said, well, I'm not Japanese. So she got quiet then, but it was like, oh, I'm not Japanese. Like, but it was like you living amongst the Japanese and in their culture, men don't carry that stuff. Women carry that. But like I said, coming from American culture, we see a woman, used to tradition, we see a woman carrying, a heavy bags. And we like, oh, I got it. Let me get that for you. But, in their culture, that's feminine. They carry those objects, especially to certain places, right? But anyway, like I say, man, well, what I really want to say to close out with this live, that men are waking up. Nothing that you do is going to stop men from exploring their options. All right, men don't have to put up with this shit from women in America. excuse my language, from the stuff from women in America anymore. Men can and will seek better, whether it be here in America, whether it be overseas, whether it be women from different nationalities, whether it be from different races, wherever, right? Or just not dealing with women at all. Men are starting to become free, and men will be free. And I'm all for men being free and being happy. And I'm for couples being happy. Whatever relationship dynamic that keeps those two together, I can have my opinion on it, but that's between them and God. So unless they come to me and they beg me for my opinion or my, whatever, right? And maybe, like I said, that's what happened in these cases. Maybe these guys did beg or ask them for their opinion. But even then, it would still be wise not to try to belittle this man in front of his woman, okay? Because that's only going to make it, worse. You're only going to make the couple break up instead of keep them apart by down talking or downplaying this man's role in his relationship, because according to you, he doesn't have a real true manly role, okay, based off of, your narrow mind viewpoint on that, which is only that. It's just your opinion, your viewpoint. And so the other thing I want to close out on too, like I say, shout out to Passport Bros, which I kind of said that earlier, but everybody is women go to these other countries, they live it up, they go to Jamaica. What's the movie? Stella Got a Groove Back. How Stella Got a Groove Back. That was all about women going to countries and getting them Jamaica man and, having fun, and women do it to this day. So nobody want to call them passport sis or passport holder like that, because, men over in America not doing this, or you have the divestment movement, all that, right? So I'm about, if people say they don't like something, they do something about it, right? Or people say, hey, I'm not able to do this or able to carry this burden. I wish somebody to help me out with this burden. I'm able to, whatever, man. Like the fact that at this point, instead of down talking, you should be happy that a black man is with a black woman and they together. Because at this rate right now, that's rare to see. You know what I mean? That's rare to see. And for hell, somebody I guess would be happy in a relationship. But for them to say, hey, we're working things out. We willing to work it out. All right. The woman's probably not happy. No woman's going to really be fully happy in her relationship. And the man is not going to be always happy all the time, but you work it out. You work it out. And it's not my place to tell a man that he's less of a man because he go 50-50, or he doesn't have as much money as his woman does or his wife does, or he doesn't work harder to keep some woman who can just leave him for any reason. Any reason. Because he's not traditional enough. But yet this same woman can go and vote. She can put on pants. But he has to be traditional. In every way, form, or fashion, especially when it comes to finance, he should be traditional. For a woman who's not even a virgin. Okay? Who can take care of herself? Who said for me, we can take care of ourselves. I'm this man. I should get as much money as you. I should be doing what you do, right? So this is what they wanted. This is what they wanted. I'm not saying that every single one in America wanted this or fought for it, but a lot of their parents and grandparents did. Okay? And some men from the old days, from the who told their daughters who was born in the 50s and 60s to be independent, not to depend on the man. So this thing is when you talk about your tradition, there's a lot of stuff going on in the traditional days. Okay, that kind of caused some of this stuff to go on today. What we have now, all right, men and women, that what we have now, that set the precursor, set the for what we have now, right? But yeah, so and there, hey, the dude that's on that couch, I feel like he on this Derrick Jackson stuff. The dude that was kind of 50-50 man, yeah, he was on some Derrick Jackson stuff. Like, dudes like that only call out, say they say all that stuff to appease the women, call men weak because they not doing this for the women, they not doing that, they not doing this enough. And then we saw with Derrick Jackson and others, they around here doing it raw. And chicks raw, man. Raw dogging these hoes, man. Raw dogging these women, right? Yeah. If that man can't appreciate you, if that man cheat on you, you should just leave him. Oh yeah, you deserve better. Crazy. Because anytime a dude always caping for women, that she's always right. Anytime there's the male and female or the man and woman dynamic, that there's an issue, this woman has an issue, it's because of you. It's because of you. It's because of her. It's because of her. She's never can be held accountable. Even though she can have a driver license, even though she can vote, even though she can be in the military, even though she can they starting to draft them. Okay, they crying about that, but they want to be in the military. They want to be in every facet that, well, most facets that benefit them that were usually exclusive to men in the workplace. But anyway, so you can't tell your wife, hey, don't go out there and vote for nobody. Hey, don't go vote for Biden. Don't go vote for, hey, but stay your behind here. You can't do that, because that's too traditional. That's too oppressive. If they don't want to call that traditional, they will call that oppressing the woman, trying to control her, abusing her. But if you say, hey, okay, you go out there and work. Oh, you're not traditional. You're not taking care of her. You're not like, what the? Yeah, these dudes, they know what's up, man. They trying to get all the women who listen to that. They trying to get their attention. That was Derrick Jackson was doing, and you be like, man, what's up with these dudes, man? Just yeah, you wrong. Yeah, I mean, just scratching those women itching. Have those women got the itchy ears? And they just scratching, right? Yeah, that man don't deserve you. He should be working harder. He should be doing this. He should be doing you never wrong. It's these men fault. And he's supposed to be a straight man too. He's a straight man. You already know what that is, man. You already know what that is. So those women can flock to him, give him that attention, which gives him that money, and he can get in them pennies. All right, he can have his options. So don't you have your options? Don't you? But I want to say this of the piece women to look at me as I'm the peacock with all the fly colors, and I'm attracting all the women. All the women are going to be attracted to me if I downplay these guys' role. Because like I say, if the majority of men or every man had money, and these guys who doing all this, showboating and I'm this, that, and other, man, they'll be trying to hurt niggas, man, trying to hurt dudes because, yeah, they'll be the biggest haters because now they don't have the abundance or the options as they have, the women ignoring all these guys that hop in their DM. They don't have that, all right? And that's all they feel like they got, too. But anyway, I want to close out on this, man. Hey, your relationship, y'all dynamic, y'all two work it out 50-50, 70-20, 70, I guess 20, 100%, 0, whatever. However you want to work it out, man. That's between y'all and God, man, for real. So, man made the money. Money never made the man, all right? So, yeah. I'm out. Y'all be good.